तेरा हाय रे जबरा होए रे जबरा फैन हो गया।
Hi, this is Melanie, movie maven gal for Pardesi. I'm here to talk about a Mohanlal classic film that so many commenters recommend that I watch. It had already been on my watch list, but I finally did get to see the 2005 Alzheimer's drama, Thanmathra. And this is the kind of film that is a real showcase for an actor of Mohanlal's greatness, because there's so much to work with. The first half of the film, shows, frankly, it almost made him out to be a saint. He was so perfect. He was respected at work. He was respected in his family. He had a wonderful relationship with his wife. He was a wonderful husband. But most especially, he was a wonderful father. And he has a special relationship with his son, who was studying for his, I believe it was the IAS exam. And they would study together, and he was just giving him life lessons, and, was a wonderful father. The young son was played by Mohanlal, and he was excellent. I have to say, I looked him up, and I couldn't believe that he's only been in one other film. This kid was great. Why hasn't he done more work? Because he was, when you're up with Mohanlal, you've got to, bring your A game, and he was really good. This is the kind of film in Hollywood, I think it's more been women that have played some of the iconic Alzheimer's movies. We had Judi Dench in Iris. This is the kind of role that is an Oscar movie in Hollywood. In fact, Julianne Moore just won her Best Actress Oscar in 2015 for playing an early onset Alzheimer patient in Still Alice. It's the kind that gives an actor such a range of things to play. So you have, being a Malayalam film, there's a lot of setup before something actually happens. And then that deepens the impact when the drama really starts. You feel it almost as much as the family members in the film, because you've seen that Mohanlal is this great father. He is this great provider for his family. He has a good relationship with his father. He's worried about his father aging. And then he starts to have these memory issues. And it's written off as stress because he has a son who is going through this whole exam period, and the doctor just, reassures him as like, it's just stress. And I actually looked up, because the symptoms that Mohanlal goes through in the film, it happens so rapidly. He degenerates so rapidly that I thought, that they had taken artistic license, and it wasn't like that, because what we're most familiar with is Alzheimer's in elderly patients that is a more gradual dementia. Well, in looking it up, I saw that early onset Alzheimer's can happen just as rapidly as appears in this film, and it's devastating for the families, because you have someone who is in the prime of their life, and then everything just comes crashing down so rapidly. So I particularly thought that the son, who just has this look on his face when he realizes, like, I'm going to have to be the man of the family now. He completely relied on Mohanlal to be the man of the family, the provider, and just the stunned look on his face from that. I also thought it was very tasteful how they showed subtly, how it changed the relationship of the marriage. The actress that played the wife, Meera Vasudevan, to be honest with you, she was not, I think, the best part of the film, but it was very tasteful in how they showed they had a loving marriage, and then how the fact that he is turning into a child that she has to take care of, what she has lost. I mean, they're not graphic about it, but it really had an impact. I think her part, I don't know if it was the way it was written or the way she just seemed very passive and things were just happening to her, and I guess that could be realistic, but like I said, the strongest relationship in the film is between father and son, and this Mohanlal kid was amazing. So Mohanlal show, I mean, you could just see, he's such a good actor, you could just see on his face when he is having an issue, when something's not right, and he knows something isn't right. And you could just, he's so good at portraying the inner, workings of what's happening, what's going wrong. And there's a dramatic scene where he goes to work and he thinks he's at home and he's very inappropriate. And then when he comes to, and you can just see the mortification. He's so embarrassed. And that's what brings everything to a crisis point in the movie. His father is played by Nidamudi, who I have seen him in other films with. I think it was doing Devasura. Anyway, I've seen him and Mohanlal together. Sometimes they're playing peers. Here he's playing the father of Mohanlal, and he's always great. So he had a very good relationship with Mohanlal, and they play well together. And you can just see the tragedy on his face of, I'm having to bring my son home. I'm having to take care. The relationship should be the other way. That Mohanlal should have been taking care of him. And it is a tragedy when you have someone who is the provider for this entire, not only for his own household, but taking care of his father. And then, everything is turned upside down by Mohanlal's illness, as it would be in real life. And you just get the impact of that to the family. The only thing that I think might have been missing in this movie is that I think Mohanlal could have just, hit out of the park, is sometimes Alzheimer's patients get irrationally violent and angry, and they're very difficult to control. And someone of Mohanlal's size, if he had a scene like that with either his young son or his wife in the movie, that could have been seriously frightening. Instead, it was mostly played as that he had regressed and was childlike. And had a very, very touching and moving ending. So this is a film, that stays with you. Fortunately, I have not experienced Alzheimer's in our immediate family. It's been, some of my aunts by marriage have died of Alzheimer's, and it's been more of the slow decline and not what Mohanlal experiences in this movie, of this sudden early onset that's just so devastating. Not that it isn't devastating in an elderly person, but it seems to be more of a matter of course, and it's just so much more shocking. And it's the same way as Julianne Moore's character in Still Alice, was someone who was young and in their prime, and how devastating it was to lose all of that in the prime of your life. So I need to watch more classic Mohanlal films. Give me more ideas. I do have a stack of ones I need to see. Drishyam, I have quite a few older ones that my friend Margaret has lent to me, a stack to go through. But what are your number one other Mohanlal films? This is certainly very, very different than Spadakam. This is a very different kind of film. I would say that I still would rate Devasuram as my number one Mohanlal film. That one I just love. It has the dance, it has the romance, it has everything, and he's so intense in that film as well. And that one's just my favorite. So please subscribe in the button below, and follow us on Twitter at Pardesi YT. The YT stands for YouTube.